Anyone who spent time working with images knows the curious effects different images can have with people. I worked with a poetry therapy group for 2 years, in which one of the participants was a man who had not spoken anywhere in 3 years. Now I knew this through other channels. But he chose to come out of his silence for the first time in response to someone's poem. This is called What Brings Us Out. Something about pumpkins caused the man who had not spoken in 3 years to lean forward, cough, open his mouth. How the room heaved into silence, so the words he chose were enormous in that air. I won't be afraid of my father anymore. And what silence followed, as if each heart had spoken its most secret terror, had combed the tangled clump for the hardest line and pulled it intact from the mass. I blessed that man forever for his courage. I blessed his voice, which started with one thing and went to many, opening up and up to the rim of the world. How so much silence had given him a wisdom which held us all at bay, amazed. Sometimes when I see mountains of pumpkins by the roadside, or watermelons, a hill of autumn gourds piled lavishly on crates, I think perhaps this one or that were to strike someone right. This curl of hardened stalk, this pleated skin, or the vegetable-like roundness of a glass knob on an old bureau drawer which the baby turns and turns, emerging later from a complicated dream. The huge navigational face of a radio which never worked while I was alive, but gave me more to go on than most sounds. How what brings us out may be small as that black arrow swinging the wide arc, the numbers where silent voices lived, how fast you had to turn to make it move. We spent some time this past fall living in a house that used to belong to W.S. Merwin in Chiapas, San Cristobal de las Casas in Mexico. I kept hoping that some of his spirit was still lingering in the stone walls, and I was mostly fascinated by the kitchen window, which looked right out onto the street. Through the kitchen window, Chiapas. Bit by shining bit, the world is going by. Book bag, broom, even a typewriter passing. The men of Vinacantan, faded ribbons trailing their hats, seconds away from the faces we stared. Baby in his sink, me with boiled water, stick of soap, amazed by how close we can be to what never sees us. Here in Mexico, no one pulls a revealing curtain wide. The quiet days unfurl, lush, center delicate frond of fern, behind the wall with the turquoise stripe. In the streets, each morning gathering shapes from mist, rivers of tightly woven grace. I placed aside the sprigs of mint when a woman with polished twins went by. Crisp school uniforms blessing the old as saints must bless the breath of sleep, and the man with stumped and rag-wrapped head shining briefly, Chamulin women leaning forward in a cloud of muttering, woolen dolls stuffed somewhere in their shawls, blue, black, each mouth a flash of red, and the small wafers of episode repeating, neighbor girls who held the gate while the freshly shaved senor backed his car onto narrow cobbles, huge blocks echoing in stone. For this I left my home and made another home. They were kissing, the lovers, pushed up against the brightening wall. His hand followed the tangled trail between her waistband and blouse. They were pushing, pulling, up the hill toward school and work and uncles. They were planted on the road, and they were all alone. Intensive care. The roads to my father's heart are newly paved. The man who touched his heart kissed him on the forehead as he awakened. Two men from the old countries, Palestine, Lebanon, meeting in such a carefully lived land. A secret comfort to me outside where I was standing and sitting with women who read the National Enquirer all night, infant with a chicken beak, generously offering copies to me when through, that at least they shared two tongues, not one. Perhaps this doubled our hopes. One woman blotted her lips each time the phone rang, and I leapt to answer, balanced on the tender pedestal of news. We hovered by bedside, gripping 5 minutes only. You know how to come back, to reach for the rail. Beyond those windows, trees resumed their bonier lines. The helicopter kept lighting on a nearby roof, blades whirling, soundless. From a distance, all things can be born. More than once, the wild sun flooded the horizon, igniting towers, the 1,000 tiny automobiles crawling toward offices, paper clips, crawling with radio stations casually tuned. We said everything good we had ever heard of. Men who sewed their own legs back on in the field, who breathed twice as deeply now. Even the couch sunk in the middle, startling each new resident, achieved a storied gleam. And the spaces between us rose curling into the air like smoke from that other room of vigilantes, the fools who believe themselves more immortal than we. The upended stories and the fierce ellipsis pulsing in our chests. So when Ricky from Texarkana said, "The truth is, honey, they can die," she wasn't talking to us. Not daughters, sisters, brothers, not the wife with a thin blanket folded beside her, the ones with fists shoved in pockets, strutting past the free coffee machine, repeating, come on, to the silver swinging doors with the electrical connection, speaking each step, handing it over. Roads, not roadblocks, calendars, the kiss that pulls us up to many, many days.